I'm going to tell you all one more time why you feel empty and unhappy inside. It's because you deserve it. It's because you're a loser. It's because you haven't tried hard enough. Because that hole in your heart will never be filled by the garbage and asinine bullshit you're doing with your life. Because nobody respects you and women don't pine after you. You don't have endless children from endless supermodels. You haven't achieved enough. Your name isn't respected. You're a fucking nobody. If I was you, I'd be unhappy too. And you deserve that unhappiness. And that unhappiness should be endless fire and motivation for you to do whatever it takes to get ahead.
So you have to ask yourself, do you want to be an important man who is respected, or do you want to be happy? If you're constantly chasing happiness, you're going to end up doing hedonistic dumb shit. You're going to end up drinking, taking drugs, doing anything it takes to feel happy. If you're constantly chasing respect or importance, perhaps you will have a far more remarkable life filled with achievements.
Yeah, well, I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I went and just had a light session. Why? You went anyway. So why did you have a light session? Are you gay? Is it because you're gay? Is that why? If you're gonna go, do it. If you're gonna do it right. There's no point in half doing anything. You may as well have not done it at all.
Because the more discipline you have in your life, the more freedom you will end up with. So if you lack the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up being a slave to disease. If you lack the discipline to work hard, save your money, you will end up a slave to finances. If you lack the discipline to manage your time correctly, you will end up with no free time. If you have self-discipline, if you have the discipline to save your money and work hard and invest your money properly, if you have the discipline to manage your time correctly and not waste a bunch of time, if you have the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up with freedom. And I know it's a counterintuitive, it's contrarian, but I've seen this over and over and over again. If you want freedom in your life, you have to have discipline.
We don't rise to the standards we have when others are watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching. The only work that really matters is the work that no one sees. It shows you who you really are rather than who you say you are.
You grow in proportion to the weight you take on voluntarily. And it's also true that we have no idea what the upper limit to that is, right? So, you've met remarkable people in your life. People can do remarkable things. And there are inevitably people who took on remarkable burdens. And because they did that, their development was forced by necessity. They were forced by necessity to grow beyond what they were. And who knows what the limit to that is?
You run the day and stop having the day run you.
What's the difference between a hero and a coward? There ain't no difference. Inside, they're both exactly alike. Both scared of dying or getting hurt. But it's what the hero does that makes him a hero. What the other guy doesn't do makes him a coward.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
You need to get things done.
They sit there and make excuses here and excuses there. There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker.
Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize.
So the question is about winning. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown?
Those times when you get up early and you work hard. Those times when you stay up late and you work hard. Those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
Everything you are seeking is seeking you. Think about that. I just mentioned that you are today where your thoughts have brought you. Because as we think, we actually travel. As we think, we travel. We may be able to stand still physically, but we are forever moving in thought. We are forever moving in thought toward that which we most secretly love, be it base of beautiful or a mixture of both. For we always gravitate towards that which we most secretly love. Always do. Even the things we don't like are the things we love. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. It was suggested that we already have everything that we want. You don't have to get anything. It is simply a matter of becoming aware of what you already have, for it is within. It's with you always. If energy If energy is neither created nor destroyed, everything you will ever want is already here. Now think about that. A higher rate of vibration always destroys a lower rate of vibration. If we have negative things in our life that we don't want, we need only go to a higher order of vibration. Now here are some questions you must answer, because it'll tell you what state of vibration you're in. Suppose I were to ask you, do you hate misery more than you love happiness? Do you hate poverty more than you love prosperity? Do you hate disease more than you love health? Because you see, if you hate these things, you increase the possibility of them becoming yours. The thing you hate is yours. The thing you love is yours. Whatever it is you love, it is yours. If not in the physical world, it definitely is in the mental and spiritual world. Do you hate misery more than you love health? Do you love prosperity more than you hate poverty? More than you hate poverty. Let me go on. It is simply a matter of choosing the thoughts that will put you into harmonious vibration with the good that you desire. What are the thoughts that have put you in harmony with the good that you desire? What does your desire look like? Suppose you were to run a movie through in your mind, with you as the star and you as the director. What would it really look like? Because that's how you get into harmony with the things you desire. The moment you bring your life into harmony with the law, the negative will have taken wings, for the cause will have been removed. Think about it. If you want to remove a negative from your life, what you must do is go to a higher order, and a higher order of vibration always destroys a lower order of vibration, and negative is a lower order of vibration. The secret to receiving on the physical plane the results you desire is covered more adequately in the lesson we went over in expectation. Think about it this way. Do you know, in a limited state of understanding, we actually sit down and logically reason that we can only get something, or we can only we can't receive it, or we can't give it until we receive it. We logically try to prove that to ourselves. In a limited state of understanding, we actually try to reason that we must get before we can give. And when Bob goes through the vacuum law of prosperity, believe me, there's going to be some navels pop around this room. Some navels pop around this room. I was with my good buddy, Mike Croucher, last week, and he was telling me a story about a man that I'd sat down and talked to over a year ago. And we were talking about this very thing. I said, you know, my friend, you're in a very negative state of vibration, a very negative vibration. And he got quite upset at me. And I told him unless he changed his state of vibration, he's going to get more of the same in his life, which wasn't very much. Last month, he was at their convention. As the story goes, before the night ended, he had the chairman of the board and the senior vice president in a headlock at 1 o'clock in the morning, telling them what was wrong with the company and how he was going to change it. The next day, he didn't even remember it. But see, I said over a year ago that more of the same was going to happen unless he changed his state of vibration. Obviously, he has not, at least to that day. So this lesson then is designed to help you understand how to get into harmonious vibration with the good that you desire, and then how to stay in that state of vibration. Think about it this way. There are people who come to me and say they're looking for the right mate. How can I find the right mate? Well, what you do is be the right mate. See, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And when you become in spirit, when you become mentally, when you become spiritually, when you become emotionally involved in what it is you want, you become that person that would have it.
So the question is, what's your why, and how does this help you bring your why to life? So if you want, there are many ways to find your why. I've written about it, I've spoken about it, but here's a fun way you can do it, right? It's called the Friends exercise. call a friend or sit down with a friend, one of your best friends, the kind of person you love, they love you. You would be there for them at 3 o'clock in the morning if they needed you, and you know that they would be there for you at 3 o'clock in the morning if you needed them. Do not do this with a spouse. Do not do this with a sibling. Do not do this with a parent. Those relationships are too close. Do it with a best friend. And ask them the simple question, why are we friends? And they're going to look at you like you're insane. Because the part of the brain that controls our feelings, our limbic brains, like trust and loyalty and love, doesn't control language. And so that's why it's hard to put our emotions into words. And so they won't be able to answer the question. So you stop asking why. You say, come on, what specifically is it about me that I know that you'd be there for me no matter what? And they're going to struggle to answer the question. And so they'll start saying things like, I don't know, you're a good person, I trust you, you've always been there for me. And you play devil's advocate. You go, great, that's the definition of a friend. What specifically is it about me that I know you'd be there for me no matter what? And again, they're going to go through a few rounds of this. Don't help them, don't let anybody else help them. It's frustrating, and eventually they'll give up. And eventually they'll stop trying to describe you, and they'll start describing themselves. And this is what my friend said to me. They said, Simon, I don't know. All I know is that I can just sit in a room with you. I don't even have to talk to you, and I feel inspired. And I got goosebumps. And that's what will happen to you, which is they will say something that will tap you emotionally. You'll well up with tears. You'll get goosebumps. Something will happen. And that's when you know that the value you have in the world, your why, is the thing that they value from you most. And so you'll get in the ballpark. And then your ability to put that into words, your ability to talk about what you believe, not what you do, is the thing that inspires people to want to come and visit your practice over another practice. So for me, for example, if I were a chiropractor, or maybe I fell into this field and didn't follow the path that I did, but my why would be the same. I would say something like, every single day, I am driven to inspire people to do the things that inspire them. And that's one of the things that I love, not like, love, emotional word, about being a chiropractor. I know that people struggle when they're in pain. I know people aren't at their best selves when they don't have total mobility. And what I have found is by simply giving people the freedom to move the way that they want to move, they can go off and do the things that they've dreamed about doing, and I'm actually fulfilling my life's purpose by doing it.